You donkey! You ain't a captain of nothing but a sinking ship! Don't do this to me, Harry! The Ohio State, it's Ohio State! What do you mean, the? 312-988-15.
Hello?
You tell Johnny all you've heard and seen. Sometimes it's good to just yell about football. Yeah, that's right. Welcome back, folks. I was going to do it's the final countdown and do this big thing and make it all fun and Happy New Year's and whatever. It's just a weird combination of feelings with everything that happened in New Orleans last night and our people there, Georgia people there. Like, I know it's not about football, but this is it's just a very weird, very weird vibe to start today. And it was already going to be a weird day, and it's even weirder now with all this news. It's just, the vibe is weird. And so it's going to be a long, weird, kind of awkward day now with all of this stuff. And it's just really unfortunate, man. It takes 3 hours into the new year, literally 3 hours into the new year for some idiot to ruin everything for everybody. It's unbelievable. You can't get 3 hours into the new year. People are asking what happened. So I don't think everybody saw the news. Apparently some moron drove a truck into a crowd and mowed down 10 people in New Orleans at 3 a.m. and had a shootout with the police, and everything's a mess in New Orleans and the city's on lockdown and this and that. I don't know. Bunch of people hurt, bunch of people ran over. It's just, you couldn't get 3 hours into the new year without some moron doing something stupid. It's just extremely unfortunate. I'm seeing rumors the game's going on, but extra security. I'm seeing rumors they're considering canceling it, doing so. I have no idea. And I don't know. So listen, we're going to try our best to balance both of these things and understand the seriousness of that moment and all that goes with this. And also talk about the football game. I don't know any other way to do it. It's just kind of awkward, you guys, like with a serious thing like that, but you got this game and we're all excited about it. It's just a weird vibe to start what is going to be a really long day. And so, it's just very awkward and uncomfortable. Just it feels weird to talk about football, but you got to talk about the football. So we're going to try and do both, but we're going to understand the seriousness of that situation. And, the whole thoughts and prayers thing, like, fine. It just doesn't do much for the people whose family members were partying for New Year's, ready for the football game and got ran over. Like, I don't know what else to say. Thoughts and prayers, but that doesn't bring back anybody that got mowed down just having a good time before this football game celebrating. So whatever. Andrew Gilmore saying ESPN put out a statement saying the police chief says the game's going to be played as scheduled. Man, if I told you how much time I spent thinking about how I wanted to start this specific show in this specific moment for Notre Dame, and how I thought about how I wanted to frame it and what I wanted to do to try and build this up and all this stuff, it's all out the window. You can't do it. I can't sing Final Countdown and have it be all of that. Like, it doesn't feel appropriate. It just doesn't feel appropriate. So I want to try and balance this morning with a respect for that situation and also talk about the football. Like, it's just kind of awkward, but that's what we're going to try and do. And we're going to talk about the football with the respect that there are bigger things in play here beyond the football. And maybe there's some lessons to learn for somebody like me that's pacing around with my family alive, pacing around all nervous and stuff. Like, maybe there's some lessons in there. Maybe there's some lessons in there that I could learn from. And that's always something I think about when this stuff happens, is like, yeah, I'm pacing around all this anxiety. At least my family's alive in the other room, right? Like, it's 3 hours, you guys. You can't get 3 hours into the new year and some moron has to do something stupid. It's just, it's rough. It's rough. But as they say, the show's got to go on, and we're going to keep moving. But I want to make sure that I don't overlook this and nobody just says, oh, look at you just talking about football. There's bigger things at play. I think we could do both and try and have some sensitivity to the situation, and also talk about the football game. But there's some irony in how much I thought about how I was going to start this show and build it up for you guys and get all worked up and do all this. And it's just, that's all changed. And so it's not appropriate to do that. So I wanted to get that out of the way early. You guys know I'm the vibes guy. I'm the Notre Dame feel guy. Whatever. I feel totally out of whack and awkward now with this. Not just because I barely slept out of the anxiety, but just this news. It's just a little unnerving and hits close to home with a bunch of our people there and everything. Not that it's okay if that happens to anybody else. It's just extra close to home when there's a bunch of people that are our people there. Anyways. Is John on the screen yet? My screen is black and says error. Everything's fine from my end. Everything's fine from my end. I hope. I'm not talking to myself. Yeah, we will get a grotto candle lit. Just announced the FBI has declared this a terrorist attack. Things are ramping up. Yeah, anybody on campus, can we get some? We could get some candles lit. And that would be awesome. A little bit of levity here as we start. I do see the phone calls loading up, and there's a bunch of them already. So I want to get you guys going on the calls here. See what you guys think. A little bit of levity here. It is true. I did on New Year's Eve post a picture of me with hair. So if you're looking in the community page or my Twitter page, you're going to see that. And I had hair, and it was with Ronald McDonald. And I thought that was funny, given that we have a resident troll here named Ronald McDonald. So that is a little bit of levity, just a little bit. And you guys could see that I actually did have a lot of hair back then. All right, let's get into it. Super chats, and then we'll give it to the calls. I had a whole page of a build up for this, and it's just not going to happen. It's not appropriate. But this is a big moment in Notre Dame football. So, Huffer Billy, that's unreal. So welcome back, everybody. I hope you did have a good New Year's Eve celebration. Whatever you did, I hope you were safe. I hope you had fun. Thanks for being here. As always, do hit subscribe if you haven't yet. Appreciate it very much. Give the video a thumbs up if you're in here. Give it a thumbs up. It does help me if they see the thumbs up. YouTube puts it in front of more people to watch. It's that simple. So if you're here already, hungover, drinking your coffee, nursing a headache, whatever you're doing, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Twitter, search bar, Always Irish, rat, Always Irish Inc. Emails, alwaysirishnd@gmail.com. Audio only, anywhere you want it, you could get it. If you don't want to see my face, absolutely no one's going to blame you for that. How do you think I feel every single day? The call-in lines, looks like people know it by now. 312-918, 988-15, rather. I did see somebody, I think it was Tex and D, somebody said they are noticing more Notre Dame shows that are doing interaction with the fans or trying to get them engaged or take calls or whatever. Listen, I can't act like I'm the first one who ever invented radio. Like, you certainly can't sit here and act like, how dare they invent call-in sports talk radio? It's been a thing for a long time. I do take pride in being the first in this niche to do it. And I think I'm proud of that. And so I certainly, a few people have asked me how I feel about other people do. I can't act like I invented radio. I'm just glad I was the first one to do it in this niche. And I love my crowd here. So you guys are great. And thank you very much. Brian Kelly's caddy said, I'm so hungover. Yeah, I figured there's a lot of that today. And that's why I figured this would be a fun show. Just everybody wake up and nurse your hangover and give me a call or talk about the football game. Notre Dame Fighting Irish, brought to you by Sports Illustrated. Read all about it. We got articles. So we got everything covered, man. We just have everything covered. It's a beautiful thing. Patreon.com/always Irish. Former Captain Mike Goolsby and myself breaking it all down. Thanks to everybody who's been there all year. Everybody who jumped up. We had almost 40 people that jumped on with the promo special for the playoff run. Means the world to me to have a bunch of people jump on board, especially when we have such an exciting ramp up here in Notre Dame in the playoff and all that. So welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. Welcome back. Again, we have a bunch of new people that just joined. Understand, we're going to have to talk some football here, but it's with heavy hearts and an understanding there is more serious stuff going on today in New Orleans, and very, very weird feel. I'm trying to take a lesson from it. I don't know any other way to do it. I'm trying to take a lesson from it of like, dude, maybe you worrying about football and everything is it's not the biggest thing in the world. So that's kind of where I'm at with this. It's kind of where I'm at. Let's do a couple super chats here. I want to give it to the callers, and I want to see what you guys think about this matchup. My main man, Martinez, with the $200 holler. Johnny, what I was trying to say is that you're the man, bro. Whether you want to believe it or not, you're a big reason we're going to win the Natty. If we win the Natty, I don't think I'm getting any credit for it, but I'll be happy to, I will be happy to enjoy the celebration. And I definitely appreciate the $200 holler. That's very generous. $5 holler for the rotate. Win or lose, we achieved our goal, make to the playoffs and win a game. You're going to get pushback on that. There was pushback all day on that. There was a debate about, did Notre Dame already break the big bowl streak or whatever, beating Indiana, or does it have to come in this moment? And there was I saw the debate all day on Twitter, Notre Dame people going after writers and whatever, and everybody was debating. Just win this game. Just find a way by 1 point to win this game, and then everybody will be happy. And we don't have to have these debates and about the nuance of what the game's called and is it a big enough bowl, whatever. It does rub me a little bit the wrong way that I feel like we all built the Indiana game up to be the end-all, be-all, this huge game. You got to have it. You must have it. You got to win it. And then we won it. And then everybody moved on and was like, yeah, but that's not that big of a deal. Now you got to beat Georgia to get credit. So I do find it kind of humorous how that shifts, that was the biggest game. And then once you won, it was like, I don't even know if Indiana belonged there. I don't know if this was the biggest deal or not. I just think that's an interesting dynamic, but that's the reality of this situation we're in, where you got to win 4 games to win a championship. And so you're going to have to measure out this success and how many games you win and who they're against and the perception of all this. That is an interesting piece of this new dynamic where Notre Dame's got to win 4 games to get to their ultimate goal. Rodney, $5 holler. Happy New Year as always, Irish family. I wish everybody a safe 25. Okay, Notre Dame gets the proverbial monkey off their back. 24-23 ND. That's stressful, bro. That's incredibly stressful. That's going to be rough. I see the rumors with the quarterback thing has not stopped. I'm seeing them. I'm seeing all sorts of rumors here. I'm seeing people in the chat saying it's not true. Like, I don't know anymore. And now I'm worried about the Georgia game. I'm not worried about all of this portal stuff and what may or may not be and all this. I don't know. For today, let's just worry about the game in front of us and whatever. I just, man, what a weird feeling. What a weird feeling this morning. It's so weird. It has shifted the whole kind of vibe around this whole moment. It's really, really unfortunate. So what I want to know is, thanks for all the super chats. Anything you want to talk about with the game, any of your predictions, what you think's going to happen, what you saw yesterday from Penn State, whatever. Listen, man, I don't know how you transition from what happened in New Orleans at 3 a.m. to the football, but I'm going to try my best. Penn State had the draw you wanted, right? Penn State ended up, and I think everybody watching that was probably thinking it last night. Penn State ended up with the draw Notre Dame wanted. SMU at home and Boise is, man, that's a really good runway to build momentum in the playoff era. And so it is what it is. And you're going to have to go beat a really talented team, much more talented than Boise and SMU today to get to the next level. That's just the way it is. But I know I was thinking of, man, that would be a nice little ramp up for your first two games. And I do believe they're going to have to reconfigure this to where, why can't it just be this, you guys? Why can't it just be this? If you win one of these conferences, you're guaranteed to be in the tournament, but you're not guaranteed a bye or a top seed. And you just rank, and the top seeds and the byes go to the top 4 teams or whatever. Or however many they're going to do or whatever. Like, is that not where this is headed? Georgia 31, Notre Dame 14. That would be old school Brian Kelly, big game like stuff. I that's just a 42-14 Georgia. I mean, these are scores that are old school Notre Dame on the big stage scores, and you want to think we're beyond that. You want to think we're beyond that. And so I don't know. It's interesting. That would mean you're just same old Notre Dame. Like, I'm not here for that. I want and need to believe that this team is built different mentally, and they're not going to allow themselves to get dominated like that in this kind of moment. That's what I want to believe. And so we're going to figure out the truth. I still think this should be a good game. Manny says we haven't beat anyone, John. Oh, that's fine. And Georgia was losing 9 games at some point during this year, the most of any team in the CFP. And they lost a couple games and they went 8 overtimes. Like, you against Georgia Tech, they gave up 220 yards rushing to UMass. Like, there are things on both sides here. I'm not acting out of fear that Georgia is impenetrable and that you can't do anything tonight. This needs to be a different story and a different narrative. Yeah, they beat Kentucky by 1 point. Like, you could have your doubts about Notre Dame, but there's also some on the Georgia side as well. And I'm open to the idea that maybe with the break and it being the postseason, it's a totally different world for Georgia and they come out completely locked in and completely ready to go. Fine. I don't know. But I got to think Notre Dame's going to be ready to go too. And so I don't know that the running back Genty or what really good against anybody but good defenses or whatever. I don't know how to make of it, but Penn State's feeling themselves right now. And how about that tight end? He was all over yesterday. Man, I like that tight end. It makes me miss when we had our tight ends as a key part of the offense. Can we bring that back? What happened to tight end you? But you almost forget about him half of the year this year. Let's go. You guys, this is going to be the longest day of all time. And it was already in my notes to say it was going to be the longest game of all time. And now it's a really, really awkward longest day of all time is what we have coming. This is all just feels so weird to me. It's just bizarre. It is so weird. Yeah, I'm coming to you, callers. I am. I know, Tom. I'm going to. And so, I don't know, you guys. That's where I'm at. I just think it needs to be different. It needs to be different this time. And you got a chance to do something special. We're gonna go to the callers. I'm gonna hand it over to you guys. We'll see one of my Sports Illustrated fellow writers here. We're going to go to you. We'll get the doc in first. He gets his honorary first spot. Dr. John, good morning.
Hey, good morning, sir. I really don't know how to start this now. I didn't find out about this till I had my phone on early. I was over feeding the dogs and heard your intro, and I had no idea what had happened until I came back and Googled it. So,
yeah.
Anyway, on to Notre Dame. I think it's going to all be in the hands of Riley Leonard. I really do. It depends how he performs, if he takes care of the ball, because I think our defense is going to play just great. So if he takes care of the ball, doesn't have a turnover, I think we win this game.
Yeah, it's I have seen a lot of national analysts bring up Georgia stopping Riley Leonard as a key factor in the ball game. And it's really, I think he needs to be a threat the entire game to take off option looks, RPOs, whatever. I just think he needs to be a big part of whatever they're going to get going on offense. And I know he's going to take hits, and I know Georgia's physical and fast. You're just going to have to deal with it. This is laying it all on the line. It's make it or break it. And you got to just go for it. And I'm interested, Dr. John, to see what Mikey Denbrock comes up with for this moment. And and Al Golden on the other side, what they come up with. This is why you go get these old school, long-haired guys, gray hair guys that have been around. Let's see what they come up with. This is their time to earn those big salaries.
Yeah, I hope Denbrock's got a few tricks in his bag. I would like to see a double back in there sometime.
Yep.
And see what happens. That would be interesting.
Yeah, that would be really interesting. Doc, did you have fun last night? You and all the girlfriends in the hot tub till the wee hours of the morning, or what?
I was at a party with about 50 people. The next oldest person there was 58 years old.
Telling you, man, you were the man. You were just the ultimate.
Oh, yeah.
You're just the ultimate man.
I left before midnight, though, because I just said, I said goodbye to everybody, wish them Happy New Year. Of course, I had one of my daughters was there, but a lot of her friends. There were some people I didn't know there. We were at out in the country at a friend's ranch. The guy is a musician, so he had his band there playing.
Man, that sounds awesome.
It was pretty awesome. Those young ladies looked awful good. But I left there. I got home a little before midnight, so I just texted my daughter and I said, "Wish everybody a Happy New Year's." So,
good for you, Doc. Good for you, man.
Then I stayed up. I stayed up too late. I got up about quarter to 9 your time, and got the phone up. Finally got on when you put the phones online. Went across, fed the dog. That's when I first heard your initial greeting. But anyway, so it was a fun night. It's a good crew. A couple of the people I've gotten pretty close to. So,
that's great.
But anyway, back to the ball game. If they come out in white pants, I'm going to throw up. I think maybe I'll wait to have any kind of beer until they come out, so I don't throw up a good Sierra Nevada Pale Ale. But
it's going to be a long day, Doc. This is going to be a long day.
Yeah, it is.
Long day.
It is going to be a long day. My oldest daughter is up the mountain house sitting, so I'm going to go up there and watch the games with her. And it's just right now it's kind of a damper. Hopefully, I'll get in the mood a little bit.
Yeah.
I have my usual. I've got my usual angel and devil sitting on my shoulders. One saying, "Oh, we're going to win this game." The other one reminded me of Paradise Lost. So
yeah.
But anyway, I just wanted to wish you a Happy New Year, and appreciate your show so much. I think you're doing a great job for Notre Dame fans like me. Although I'm probably the oldest one that listens to you. I was so glad when that guy called in from California that just had his 83rd birthday. I thought, oh my God, we got some other fogies on this thing.
Hey, it's good to have you.
Yeah, I've been promoting it with my 62 class, but I'm not sure how many of them can get up and turn the doggone computer on. So.
You're a man of the technological world, Dr. John. You're a man of the technological world.
I am.
Listen, it means
Donnie,
the world to me.
Wish your family.
Oh, thanks.
Thank you. Wish your family a Happy New Year for me, and Hopefully this game goes the way we want it. I'm feeling fairly confident about it. Like I say, Riley Leonard and gold pants. That's the key. So
yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Anyway,
hey, thanks a lot. I always like you starting it off. It just feels right. It feels appropriate, just like we do all through the year and through the summer. You're always here. It's only appropriate. You're the first caller on a morning like today. God bless you, Doc. You're a good man, and I hope you enjoy the day. Thank you.
I will do that. I will do my best. You too, John, and hi to the gang out there who are tuned in. So
beautiful.
Take care of yourself. I love you. Go Irish.
Thanks a lot, Doc. Take care, man. I love that, man. He was at a party with 50 people and 49 of them were young ladies. The guy's unbelievable. I don't know, man. What are you going to do? It's Dr. John. Oh, man. Nathan, I see you. I'm going to go to Chicago's very own Tom Frolley. And Nathan, I got you. Tom, what's going on? Good morning, brother.
It's been a long morning already. So
yeah,
I got a call from a good friend of mine who's a Chicago police lieutenant. He's down there. And he texted me at 5 a.m. To see if I was awake because he knows I'm an early riser. And he had just he hadn't been to bed yet because he was just going into the hotel when the incident happened. He was in the French Quarter about a block away. So he went down, he showed his credentials to the New Orleans police, and because of his experience here in Chicago, working downtown in the airports, he's worked on, all that kind of prevention and see if he can help. And he told me that the Superdome is cordoned off by fences because they were doing fireworks there last night, and it's cordoned off for the tailgate. So I said, what do you think? Do you think they're going to go ahead with the game? He says they probably will because there's too much scheduled.
Yeah.
He says there's too much at stake. So that's encouraging. And then the Sugar Bowl committee just came on, Fox News and ABC is reporting that it's probably going to go off as scheduled, but they're minute to minute right now because of getting the people out of the French Quarter. They haven't found out if this guy is tied, the suspect who died, if he's tied to any, terrorist cell. That's what they're trying to figure out. So that's the latest on that. As far as, this really puts a twist on the ball game.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I said a decade of the rosary immediately for the deceased and the 35 plus people that got run over by this idiot. And I was so jacked up for this game, and now it just kind of puts a damper on it. But hopefully they do play the game and go ahead as scheduled because, you know what, we can't let the bastards win just so long as people can get in and out of the Superdome safely, but it's really a tragedy, that's for sure. As far as the game's concerned, I've not changed my opinion. I still think Notre Dame is going to play a good game. Look, it is not. It's not the mismatch of Alabama and Clemson over Notre Dame like is a playoff. We're a lot closer because of the defense.
Yeah.
And it's the eyeball test. I just don't know we don't know which Georgia team's going to show up, but we're pretty close. We know what Notre Dame team's going to show up. And that's what I like. There's been more consistency. I think Marcus Freeman's got these, and the coaching staff has these kids wired. I think they're all locked in, and not that Georgia isn't. And I think Georgia's going to be a little bit rusty. This kid, he hasn't played that much quarterback.
Yeah.
So hopefully they dial up some exotic blitzes. They might not even have to. And Bryce Young gets involved and gets in that backfield quickly, and let's cause some turnovers early and get a quick start. You know what I mean?
Yep. That all sounds like the recipe. I was also thinking about how long Georgia's had off since they've played a game, and I think that could cut two ways. One is they're totally refreshed, totally geared up, totally cranked up, fully ready to go, full blast. Or maybe they start off a little sluggish and have to get back into the swing of things, and maybe Notre Dame could take advantage of that early. I don't know if there's an in between. I either see them coming out really, really sharp after some time off, or a little bit sluggish, and then maybe Notre Dame can get an angle early. I don't know, but the one thing I'm not going to do is question Kirby Smart's ability to get ready for a big moment like this. He has earned my respect that I believe he's going to have those, do the best he can to have these guys ready. And so let's just see how that part goes.
Yeah, everybody's that's saying they're afraid because how big Georgia is. Well, I mean, what do you want them to do? Fold up the tent and not play the game?
Yeah,
they're going to punch them in the mouth.
Yeah,
we've got some. If you look along both of our lines, these guys are a little bit nasty. That especially our offensive linemen. They've got an attitude, and they're nasty, and they keep punching people. So, obviously they're going to have to get a little creative to, make up for the loss of Riley Mills. But I still think that these kids have the ability to go in there and disrupt that running game. I'm not afraid of the running game. What I'm afraid of is if they get the running game established. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Insofar as I don't think they're going to break long runs on us. I just think, and I also think, offensively, that Riley Leonard's going to have to take a couple of shots downfield tonight, because if they have an Achilles heel, it's their safeties, and their linebackers are not very good in coverage. So, the tight ends might loom large today. And Faison and Greathouse have to play possession underneath. So we'll see. I'm looking forward to it. I just hope to God they kick this game off like it's scheduled. I can't imagine what's going through the players' minds right now. I can only imagine that the coaches have got them all locked up. Say, listen, we're going ahead as scheduled. If we have to play it in the street, we'll play it in the street.
Yeah.
It's they just keep them focused. But
such an awkward feel.
Well,
everything. It's just weird.
Well, look at all the family members of the players that are down there. We don't know what's going on as far as who got hurt and who didn't get hurt. Jesus, I hope that's
it's tough.
It's frightening to even think about it. But we hope for the best and just say our prayers and go Irish.
Yeah, Tom.
You know what I mean?
Tom, I've been thinking about you. I know how much this moment means to you. We were talking a little bit last night. This is a big one, man. And so it's going to be a long, stressful day on multiple fronts, and we'll see how it goes, man. Thanks for the call early.
Take a nap.
Yeah, good for you.
Take a long nap and then wake up probably around kickoff of that Citrus Bowl or whatever game was on first, and then just take it easy. But I just love the fact that the SEC was getting their nose rubbed in it yesterday.
Yeah.
The landscape of college football has changed, and I think the days of the dynasties and the days of the SEC's run is pretty much over because of the NIL and the transfer portal.
Interesting. Well, we'll see. Notre Dame's got a lot to say about that later on tonight, Tom. So, hey, thanks a lot for the call this morning, man. Let's just stress out today with heavy hearts. I think that's what's going to happen.
All right, guys. God bless. Go Irish.
Have a good one, Tom. Man, Tom is a real one. Tom is a real one, that's for sure. Nathan, sorry I missed you. I understand how that baby duty stuff goes. Call back if you can. I'll be live for a while. You know that. Bruce, what's going on, baby?
What's going on, big man? How you doing? Happy New Year.
Oh, Happy New Year to you too, man. Just kind of a weird, unexpected vibe and start to the new year. And it's just kind of, there's a lot going on. And I don't know. What do you think? It's going to be a long day.
Yeah, no, absolutely going to be a long day. I actually feel bad the way you opened up the show because I saw what happened on the news and it didn't even occur to me to like, I'm so like wrapped up in this freaking Sugar Bowl. I feel bad now. It didn't even occur to me like there's much more important things at hand. The first thing I thought about was, okay, there's too much money at stake with this college football playoff. This is a huge thing. All they're going to do is ramp up security at the Superdome. And well, now I got to like go back and like, yeah, there's a lot of families who were damaged by this thing. And this is just a totally bad situation.
Yeah,
so
it's just
I need
awkward.
That's what's really important.
Yeah, it's just awkward. And, you know, that's what I was thinking this morning before I went live. You know, I had this specific angle I was going to start with and do a big pump up and be a little goofy with it and get everybody going. It's just not appropriate. But you know, for someone like me, the lesson I learned is, man, there's more important things in this football game. As important as it feels and is to all of us, there are more important things, and that is the best lesson I could take from this. I don't know any other way to look at it right now.
No, you're 100% right, John. You're 100% right. But now back to the football side of things. Number one, why does Corso still show up on game day? Like,
elder abuse.
We
that's why.
Everything that he's
Bruce,
done, right.
Elder abuse. That's the answer.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. Like he doesn't look good out there. Anyway, so let me say this because I'm petty and you know this.
Yeah, I do.
I'm never the guy that believes. I'm never the guy that bases deservedness of someone being in a particular position sports-wise on the results after the fact. But turnabout is fair play, isn't it? Because all of those SEC fans and administrators who complained about Bama and South Carolina not making the tournament, not making the playoff, they could shut the hell up now. Because Michigan didn't have a bunch of their guys yesterday, and they went out there and they beat Alabama. And I don't care how many people in this chat get mad at me. I loved watching Michigan stomp the damn Tide. I loved it. Because you know why I feel about the SEC. I hate them all. I detest them with every fiber of my existence. So I love that. And then watching Illinois go out there and put the beats on South Carolina and Brett Bielema making freaking Shane Beamer fly into some rage. Oh, that was even more.
Dude, Bruce, am I wrong? Am I wrong? Or did I see? That's a 10-win season for little old Illinois that nobody ever pays attention to. That is a hell of a season. That's a hell of a season for an Illinois team that never gets any media attention at all. That is a really, really good year by Bielema. That was a good hire by Illinois, to be honest. That's a good year for them.
Yeah.
That's a really, really good job by them.
No, it is, and it's testament to how good of a coach Brett Bielema is. He's a really good coach. I'm not sure why it didn't work out at Arkansas with him. I guess it's just that whole. I think he probably just got jerked with that whole that SEC culture thing and him being an outsider and all that. But anyway, that's a different thing. But the point is, really good season by them. Testament to his coaching ability. My guy Ryan Langford, that's the Format Podcast college football analyst. He played for Illinois, so. I talked to him this morning. He was super happy. He was at the game yesterday.
Yeah, it's a good year.
It's just great. Yeah, man. I've been saying for years that we need to stop this lazy narrative that from top to bottom, the SEC is just so much better than everyone else because it's just not true. Yes, the SEC at the top is incredible. We get it. But top to bottom, they're just so far superior. It's not true. And this is not the first year that we're seeing this in the bowl season. But Notre Dame has a chance to really put a pin in all that tonight by getting a win over Georgia, which is, now the resident bully of the block. So if they can get that, that's just going to, that's going to be, what is that, the icing on the cake for me or the cherry on top, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
For me personally, that's going to be fantastic. So we need to get out there and win this game. I need to be so wrong about my pick.
Yeah.
You mentioned earlier about the changes to the seating going forward. And I think that's on the horizon. We're hearing a lot of talk about it.
Yep.
In terms of not just the the conference champions getting the buys, but just the top 4 seeds overall.
Okay.
And
now, wait.
so
Now,
I'm
let me
looking
ask this, Bruce. Where does Notre Dame fall in
Yes,
that?
sir.
Because Notre Dame's got that you're not allowed to have a – you're not allowed to – I'm just asking. So is it going to be just the top 4 seeds, but if one of them's Notre Dame, they're the 5 still? Are they still going to do that angle of the Notre Dame independence tax if they go to just the straight-up top 4 ranks? I'm just asking. I don't know the answer. I'm just asking. I don't know.
John, the reason I'm laughing is because that was exactly the next point I was going to get to.
Yeah.
And as usual, you read my mind and got there a step ahead of me.
Then
So
that I feel bad. I feel bad.
appreciate-
I feel bad for your mind if you're where mine's at most of the time, Bruce. I don't wish that on anybody.
Yeah,
I don't wish.
absolutely.
I like you too much for that. I don't wish my brain on anybody.
Absolutely. But no, I was thinking about it, and I would think that the only reason, realistically, the way that Notre Dame is locked out of the top 4 seeds right now is because they are in place for conference champions. But
Yeah.
if you remove that caveat,
Yeah,
then there's no reason why Notre Dame shouldn't be able to be a top 4 seed.
yeah, it'll
If
be
it's just
interesting.
A top 4 seed gets a bye. However, that's going to piss off a lot of people because there are tons of people out there who, for whatever reason, I still can't understand, are obsessed with Notre Dame joining a conference. So there's a lot of people that are going to say, they're not in the conference. Why should they be able to get a top 4 seed? Maybe because they went out and earned it. I mean, that's it.
It's
so,
going to be interesting.
that would piss off a lot of people. But I would think if they do that that adjustment to the rules, that it's just the top 4 seeds who get the buys, then they would have to pull that caveat off of Notre Dame. And Notre Dame could be in position to be one of those teams to get it. So that makes me wonder if it's just because of that, if they wouldn't do it. Or if they would try to put some other BS in place to continue to hold Notre Dame back.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting. Bruce, anything else this morning? I know how much this means to you. You're a Notre Damer down south, surrounded by SEC people. I know this is special to you.
Yeah.
Anything on the way out, man? I know this is the one for you, man. This is the one. You've been acting like me. That's how bad it is. You've been acting like me. You've been texting me angry paragraphs about the SEC. Like, I'm like, dude, Bruce, you were like, calm, cool, consistent all the time. You were like consistent. And now the SEC comes up and you're acting like me. What is wrong with you?
We all have our quirks, John. We all have our quirks.
Yeah.
And this is mine. I hate them.
Yeah.
I hate them with But anyway, nah, man, that's all I got. Happy New Year again to you, John. Happy New Year to everybody in the chat. And go Irish, guys.
Oh, go
Let's do it
Irish.
tonight.
Enjoy the game, man. It's just this is going to be a weird day for a lot of people in a lot of ways. I got a few more super chats. Let's get to these. Always want to make sure I hit them all. $10 holler. If I ever miss your super chat, please let me know in the chat and I'll try and address it. I said this before. I will never, ever ignore a super chat and not read it on purpose. If they ever slide by me, it's completely on accident. I sincerely apologize. $10 holler from Michael. As they've been saying, if not now, when? I believe it's our time now. Irish 24/17. My prayers go out to the families of the victims. Thank you for joining, Michael. This if not now, when concept is very interesting. And the reason I say that is, my whole Notre Dame existence, we've not been good enough. And everything we discuss is maybe next year, maybe if the recruiting's better, maybe if we get a quarterback, we're 2 receivers away, we're 1 good coach away. Like, everything we've been doing for like 20 years is programmed to maybe next year. It's like the ultimate Cubs thing before they got over the hump. Maybe next year. Oh, there's always next year. Everything for us is always about next year and never doing anything in the year we're in. Anybody else notice that? Just like existentially and like everything with us has always been like, we know we're not good enough. Maybe next year we can put it together. We're 1 more recruiting class away. We're 1 quarterback away. It's never been about getting anything done that gets you national respect in that year. This needs to be different, damn it. I'm getting cranked up. $2 holler from the Wells Lamont player of the game. It's Reggie Brooks who had the hot hand today. Breaking news, we're due for a punt block. Bryce Young is long and strong, and he's bound to get the friction on with him in the ball. Knock it down. See what I did there? Always Irish Senior. Happy New Year. Always Irish World. Let's go. Yep, I'll be spending the day with Always Irish Senior whenever I'm done here. And we'll watch some football. My brother Andrew's in town from Florida with his family, and this is going to be a long, weird, stressful day. Good to see Coach Tim Hyde here. Kirby only has 2 losses in these bowl games, both to Old St. Nick. Man, that's a lot of perspective, isn't it, to think about? And what's on the line here, what Notre Dame could change narrative-wise and practically. That's the other thing. This is a perceptual victory and a practical victory if Notre Dame pulls it off. Even with their quarterback situation, you're going to garner a different level of respect knocking off any Georgia team than is capable of you. Even if you beat Indiana 70-0, you're not going to get the same level of respect if you knock off the SEC champs. So, I don't know. $2 holler from the Wine and Cheese. Haven't put a chat in a bit. Go Irish. Thanks a lot, Wine and Cheese. It's good to see you here. It really is good to see you here. And so, I don't know, you guys. Maybe we could get who's Brian Kelly rooting for tonight? Oh, you know who Brian Kelly's rooting for tonight. Oh, you know. Rodney, what's going on? Welcome to the show.
Hey, what's up, Always Irish family? Happy New Year to everybody.
Yep. What's going on, Rodney? Just a weird start to the day and a lot of football and and a long wait and a bunch of other games. There's a lot going through my mind right now. Some of it I never thought I'd have to think about. It's a weird start to the day.
John, the same thing with the tragedy. I had seen, so when I was scrolling through the top on the recommendations, those little thumbnails, I saw something about New Orleans. Got to admit, John, I didn't even register that. I know we're in the Sugar Bowl, but you know what I mean? I didn't make the connection, but I also didn't click on the story to see the gravity of it. I thought it was, car runs into, it's New Orleans. Of course, things are going to happen years here. I didn't realize the seriousness talker you mentioned. Wait a second, maybe this thing's more serious than I realized. And I'm Googling it while you're talking. Oh my God, man. 10 killed, 30 injured, 40 injured, something like that.
Perspective. That's what it did. The only way I look at it is perspective.
WTF, man.
Yeah. It's so
God, man. Yeah. So I didn't know that the game was somewhat in balance, or we wouldn't know for sure if there's even going to be a game tonight, or, a postpone announcement coming soon, maybe. Wow. Okay. So, man, like you said, it's kind of a gut punch, and you have these thoughts about the day that's ahead of us in the college football, and then you hear something like that. God bless everybody, man. What can I say?
Yeah.
Okay. I guess getting to the game. First of all, John, about the playoffs, just a quick thing about the playoffs and the format and all that. Another thing I've mentioned, I won't rehash all the things I mentioned before, but one thing I think that is coming, I think the 14 is coming, because I think the 2-team bye thing makes a lot of sense. You don't always know who number 1 is. Maybe there's a couple that are in doubt, but I think when you get to 3 or 4, it's like, I think that's the best way to go. The 2-team bye, and then those 2 teams that get that bye also getting a home game, when they play their game, so that they have that advantage that the first round teams have. I also think, John, in the second round, the reseeding thing, I've never understood in any bracket, whether it be NFL, NBA, whatever, why it's automatic. Oh, these 2 teams in this bracket, this team will play this team no matter what. I get it. You're expecting the team that's the higher rated to win, but if they don't, and I just never understood that. Why wouldn't the team that's number 1 get to play theoretically what would be the worst of the teams remaining? I never understood why it's automatically these 2. You know what I'm saying, John? When the brackets are already set no matter what. It's interesting. That doesn't make sense to me. Why wouldn't they do that? So that'd be kind of a cool thing that college football could do, is change that and make it somewhat unique, that other sports don't use that system. Reseed them, and then the team that's last place in that most recent reseed plays the number 1 team in the country. That just makes sense. So that's just my little playoff rant, or whatever you want to call it. Getting to the game. I mean, you wonder how much this tragedy is going to affect, the emotions of the game too. It's like, golly, man, why does this have to happen? So the key is absolutely Riley Leonard, man. Right. And Riley Mills, the two Rileys, man. The two Rileys are the keys to this game. The loss of Riley Mills and, what we have in Riley Leonard. I think Jordan Faison, Mitchell Evans become huge, and Jadarian Price become huge in this game because I think Jeremiah Love has got the attention of Georgia's defense, as does Riley Leonard. And I think these other players stepping it up. What gives me a lot of encouragement, John, whatever we're losing in the middle of that defense, our offense has been getting better and better week to week. This might be a game where the offense has to pick it up a little bit, and do their part and come up with some third down conversions that maybe wouldn't otherwise happen against a team like a Georgia, Alabama, Ohio State and Clemson of yesteryear. And I just, man, I felt so much better about this game the last couple of days. I feel like it's our time. You kind of feel like there's just something about that, man. It feels like it's our time to win a game like this.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be a classic either way.
Rodney, I'm with you on it is time for – good morning, Omar. You're late. Are you hungover? I just wrote yesterday, the day before, saying it is time that Notre Dame's offense fully carries their weight in one of these heavyweight matchups to where it doesn't end up where you feel like the defense has to pitch a shutout and block a kick and do all this to win. Maybe the offense does just enough to get you by. It would be really, really nice if Notre Dame's offense could be a big part of the reason we win. And all that pressure in these big moments isn't all on the defense to be nearly perfect. And I feel like in all of our playoff type moments, that's what the narrative's been, is like, well, we don't trust the offense to do anything. That defense better not give up anything. It would be really nice to see Notre Dame's offense carry their part of the responsibility tonight.
Well, another thing would be really nice, man. I think we're overdue for a return for a touchdown. Boy, wouldn't that be something? Harrison running one back, or maybe they put Jeremiah Love back there to throw things off a little bit, or Price or whatever. We've seen Price do that against USC last year. I mean, that'd be another one. A return for a touchdown.
Yeah.
Notre Dame's got a great takeaway defense. I think that's the way. Something tells me Golden's going to be a little more aggressive because of the Riley Mills loss to go after the ball in this game. But yeah, man, I think it's going to be a great game either way. And I also want to say this, man, while I'm picking Notre Dame to win, and I really do feel like that's going to happen tonight, but I don't think it's a slam dunk by any means. Kirby's, his resume speaks for itself in games like this. But if Notre Dame plays, right with them and we lose because of, kind of just to pick them, this team won. It wasn't really like it could have been either way. I don't want Notre Dame Nation and getting down on this team. Again, we got to see how this thing plays out, of course.
Yeah.
But I think what I'm trying to say, John, this has been a successful season. We've won a playoff game. We've done something no college team had done up until Notre Dame did it. We've won a playoff game. The arrow is pointing straight up, man, in this program. Marcus Freeman has done what I thought was going. You and I think thought was going to happen. We didn't know, but we thought that this could be the case. We thought we were looking at the next Urban Meyer. And I'm throwing a lot of big superlatives out there.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Dude, we've taken that next jump is my point. Now where we go from here, okay, it seems like we're heading in that direction. But I think we've reached that next level. That level if nothing else, John, I think we can say, God, unless it's just like I can't see them just fold tonight and play terrible. I could see the game get out of hand if something happens, or just a variety of circumstances but if you can still see, okay, this team's still playing with them. It's just, oh my God, they're having the worst luck that's ever happened in a game or something. Like other players go down with injuries or something. You know what I mean?
This team feels different. You're about to find out just how different it is. And then this will be a good measuring stick of just how different it really is and how much room you still have to go to get there, or you realize you're a little further ahead than you even thought. It's going to be a big measuring stick, and it's going to be interesting. Anything else, Rodney? Thanks for calling this morning.
That's all, man. Just, I think the arrow's pointing straight up, guys. Have a great time watching the game tonight. Really be safe. And, this could be a classic. This could be an all-time classic tonight. So, go ND.
It's going to be interesting.
Make it happen.
Thanks a lot, Rodney. Man, it's going to be this is some big time stress. Pat says, never watch a game at a bar, at home, or on the road. For the life of me, I cannot imagine. If you're like a diehard fan of a football, I can't imagine a world where you'd be like, you know what I'm going to do for the game? I'm going to go watch the game in public with a bunch of strangers that I don't know. And I don't know, that could be the other team, could be our team. There's drunk people. It's loud. The whole thing makes me so uncomfortable. You will never, ever, ever find me watching any game I care about at a bar. I'm just not going to do it. Feelings don't win games, John. I understand that. But the feelings that I'm expressing are based on what I've seen so far. So there's a give and a take with that. I wouldn't have those feelings if I didn't feel like there was some evidence that led me to have those feelings. So I get it. And I'm not just saying because I feel like I want Notre Dame to be different. They're going to be, they're going to dominate Georgia. But I wouldn't have that feeling if Notre Dame didn't do certain things this year to give me that feeling. So there's a reason I have that feeling, and it isn't random. Go beat Georgia, man. Go change the narrative. Just go beat them. Find a way. Just go find a way. Only reason it feels different is ND isn't playing 12 Bama, 15 OSU. Yeah, but the feeling isn't just this game. It's what got us here. And then the next thing people are going to say are, well, yeah, but you didn't play anybody good. So the hell with it. Never mind then. Like, I don't know. Never mind then. I don't know. This is going to be a long, stressful day. I did not sleep barely at all, you guys. I just tossing and turning and spinning and thinking. And then I get up and I look at my phone and it's bad news. This is all off to a weird start. Son of a buck. How about this? Call from New Orleans. Let's see how this goes. 504, you're on the air. Welcome to the show.
Hey, how you doing, John?
I'm doing very well. Yeah, I got you. What's going on?
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, it's a little low, but I can hear you.
All right. Okay, well, good. Hey, I've been listening to your show for like 2 years. I've never called in. In fact, I'm usually at the gym when you're
well, good for you, man. Get some exercise going. Get some exercise.
Yeah, that's where I'm at now. I'm a long-time Irish fan, mid-60s. Remember the 80s. I'm going to the game tonight. Me and my son's going to the game, so that'll be good. And then I wake up like everybody else. I guess I wake up this morning and see on the news, local news, like, what the heck's going on with that? And but the game's not going to be canceled. I mean, it's it happened on Bourbon Street. Obviously, it makes sense. New Year's Eve, somebody's trying to do something bad and drive a truck down past the barricades on Bourbon Street and mow a bunch of people over. But I don't see the game being canceled.
Yeah, it's just a very, very weird vibe. Since you're in the area, correct? Or it's not just the area code, but you're in the area.
I'm here, yeah.
Okay.
So I actually live now. I'm from New Orleans, so I grew up in New Orleans, but I actually live down in Notre, which is called the Notre, Mandeville, which is about 30 minutes from New Orleans. So, tonight, we'll go to the game. And I was going to tell you too, if any of your Irish family, if they're going to the game, they want to, hook up or something, give them a number.
Yeah. And so what's the vibe? What's the vibe like? And I'm asking that with two things in mind. One is about the game, obviously, and that energy. And then has it just felt awkward since the news in the middle of the night and everything? Like, what is the vibe you're feeling around you in the area?
Yeah, it is kind of, it's a little off, of course, the terrorist thing too. I think the bigger play, because that's where the game potentially, hey, we're going to cancel the terrorist thing, it's like but I really think, Bourbon Street, obviously it's not far from the Dome, but still, I don't think there's an association. Well, hopefully there's not, obviously, because they would cancel the game. But, I get that back, but and there's a lot of I know I'm going to have to deal with the Georgia people.
Yeah.
Tonight, but a lot of but most of from what they're saying, and I guess it makes sense because New Year's Eve, a lot of people, locals, go down to Bourbon Street.
Yeah.
Even though you've got the Sugar Bowl in town, most of the people that were injured or that the deceased, they're local people, so they're not tourists from Georgia.
That's rough. So are you seeing a bunch of Notre Dame fans, a lot of Notre Dame contingent? What's it like as far as the Irish side here?
Yeah, there's a good amount, but of course there's for one Notre Dame person, there's there's two Georgia.
Yeah.
But, I don't. I went to the last time I remember the Sugar Bowl, and some of you guys were talking about it, and I think Dr. John said he went to the game, but was when I played Florida, and I was sitting in the suite, and of course it's all Florida fans, and I'm at halftime we getting our butts kicked, and I'm I got the clap, the game clap all around me, and then Jerome Bettis runs 3 touchdowns.
Yep.
The second half, and everything's great. Yeah, so that's the last memory I got of Notre Dame and the Sugar Bowl.
Yep,
so
it's really
the Riley Mills thing is a little tough. That's got me a little concerned.
Yeah. Yeah, it's this is going to be a really interesting situation, and I just this is unique, man, in a bunch of different ways, and we'll see what happens. Anything else, my friend? Thanks for joining. I like first-time callers. Thanks, man.
Yeah, like I said, I listen to y'all. I just never call. I'm usually at the gym, so I listen to you at the gym, and I didn't want it with the noise and all that. I didn't want to call in, but I figured, with the game and I'm going and everything and what happened this morning, I said I'm gonna try to, see if I.
Yeah, I really appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. Stay safe down there and trying to enjoy the game amid some awkward circumstances. Thanks a lot.
Okay. All right. Thank you, John. Thank you for taking my call.
No problem, man. Have a good one. It's good to get some new people in. It's really interesting how people are saying, obviously I'm not watching the news while I'm running the show. But it's really interesting to see people are saying, oh, the game's definitely going on. Oh, no, the game might not go on. Oh, no, it's going to happen. And then, no, it maybe not happen. And nobody knows. And then it looks like they sent all their workers home. I don't know. This is all just so messed up. It's just not the vibe I wanted to start. This is what John's talking about. The game is perfect to end the narrative that are 30 years in the making. Again, there is no winning margin against Indiana or a team like Indiana that could equate to what beating this team even by 1 point would mean, even with their quarterback situation. So Kirby's just that proven. So I give him full credit on that. 559, you're on the line. Welcome to the show. Happy New Year, brother.
Happy New Year, boss. Happy New Year. First of all, let me start off with saying that to those that are out there, be safe. Hope everybody's accounted for. That I really woke up to the phone just going crazy.
Yeah.
And on the chats that I'm on, I was shocked. So first and foremost, sorry to put a damper. It's just, I just want to say, vent that out real quick and let all y'all know that my prayers are with y'all. And hopefully we have a safe and a good crowd show up. From what I'm seeing, the game is on. The Sugar Bowl already said that they're not changing the time and they're not canceling the game. So just be safe, be vigilant, and be proactive on anything, guys. Now.
Hello? Yep.
This game means a lot to all of us. Rodney had a vision in South Bend when he started all this up. Aaron Pashigan had a new vision, his own vision of Notre Dame football. Lou Holtz continued that. Marcus Freeman, I believe in you. I believe that you restore strength and honor to our program and pride that we haven't had in a very long time. This means the world. This is our mecca. This is our pinnacle point of we measure where we're at as a program, as a fan base, and unity that we are as all. We got to stand together. We have to figure out how to get that extra inch. And you players got to look at yourselves in the eyes and look at each and one of you and understand that this means not just a game for you, but it means the world for us as fans. So find it in you to figure out what you got to do to get that extra push, that extra grab, that tackle down the guy that you grab. Get that catch that you think you're going to get cracked. Grab that ball, make a score, make a statement, and stand up and say, this is Notre Dame, and we are here to play with Georgia, and we ain't not going to go nowhere. No matter if the score is down, if the score is up, we're going to show up and suck you in the mouth and punch you in the gut and let you know that we're not going to go nowhere because we are here to play, and we are here to table, and we are here to get the victory. Let's go, Irish. Roger it. This is our game. This is our focal point, and let's go after it, man.
I'm telling you what, you really slow rolled into that one.
Man, John, I am pumped. I am enthusiastic. I am so energized right now. I was just having my coffee, but I don't need coffee for this game. The hell with that. Coach, sign me up. Let me be on the sideline. Let me pat those guys in the back. Let me hit them in the helmet. Let me smack them when they're not catching that ball. Let me tell them there's so much on the line right now, John. There's so much. And this is about respect. And let's take our goddamn respect back and shut the SEC up and then fight for it. And I'm sorry, Bruce. I know that you said that know the sources and they have a job. I give a rat ass, my boy. You talk about Notre Dame. You talk about me. You got a problem with Notre Dame, Coach. You got a personal problem with me. You don't speak on Notre Dame without putting some goddamn respect behind our name.
Have you ever heard of a thing called decaf coffee? No, I'm just kidding.
No, none of that. I need to get to have my coffee. I told you. I am tired right now. And I am sick and tired of all these fool mockery for the last 30 years because we had some dumb coaches that did not understand the value of Notre Dame. This is Marcus Freeman's team. This is a new era. This is a new belief. I believe in Notre Dame, and I believe in Marcus Freeman because he understands what the university means. And I don't give a damn about ESPN because you're going to get a show on ESPN, and we're going to let everybody know. So put some respect behind Notre Dame's name. We're going to get our list for. We already have that strength and honor, guys. Let's keep going. Let's keep chugging, and let's keep fighting. Don't be afraid, guys, and stop being wishy-washy on these chats. Stick your chest out with pride and put some base behind your base, bro.
Man, dude, never change. Never, ever change. You just be you all the time. And I love you for it, man. Try and enjoy the day and not stress out too much, okay?
Oh, I'm not stressing, John.
Good.
I'm not stressing. That's one thing I'm not doing. I'm going to enjoy this game. I'm proud of Notre Dame where we're at. But we're not done.
Man.
We still got unsettled business to do. And we got a lot to grab. We don't need their respect. We're going to take that respect.
I like
but
it.
What I'm tired of is that, oh, well, they have a job. I don't give a damn they got a job. Like I said earlier, I give two rat's ass on what they have to do. You talk about Notre Dame, you put some respect behind it. When I see Stephen A. Smith, I understand he's a loudmouth and that's all that. Boy, get your hairline correct. Boy, you look like you have a half dome mountain going on over there from Yosemite National Park.
Get your hairline correct.
You know what I'm saying, John?
Hey.
And you, bro, you good, bro. You looking bougie, bro. Don't even worry about it. You just put that chain on and put some shades on and let's enjoy the, even if the sun hasn't hit in your face, that sun will hit on our face sooner or later, my boy. But we bougie over here, my boy. And next time you know, we're going to be Gucci next, homie.
Oh, man. I love you, Lewis. I love you, man.
Notre Dame, my friend.
I love you. Enjoy your day of football, and thank you. I love this guy's contribution to my life. It's unbelievable. It's just, that guy's energy is quite unrivaled, to say the least. Oh, man. Gosh, that's funny. $20 holler from Zachary. Thank you very much. John, I've been pacing up and down the hallways in my house for 3 hours already. Nerves are shot. Always Irish for life. Always Irish for life. I got to tell you, all last night we were at my parents' house because my brother's in town, and we were watching the Penn State game. I just kept walking, and I'm playing with the kids just to keep busy, and I'm just walking. I didn't drink. I didn't have one drop of alcohol. Like, this is just, it's not that moment, man. It ain't that moment for me. It is just wild. $2 holler. Just threw my beer at a cop. Let's go. Where? In the middle of New Orleans while they're trying to figure out what happened? That doesn't seem very wise or responsible. I hope that's some sort of sick joke. Mikey Poles, $2 outlet. Does 559 play D tackle? We need him on the field. Man, I'm telling you, his energy and the unwavering competence is quite impressive. Obviously, I'm not watching game day or whatever, but the Corso thing is elder abuse, man. It's sad to see what they're doing to the old boy that used to be, one of the best parts about game day before it all turned, with the Disney ESPN thing, and it all turned back in the old day, the early 2000s, when it was more legitimate and straight up and honest. All right, you know what it is. I need a 2-second sinus break. Entertain yourselves. I'll be back in literally 10 seconds. We'll do a bunch more calls, and then we'll see what's going on. I feel really awkward as the news continues about what this is going to be or whatever. Put it in the chat, because obviously my phone's hooked up to the phone lines. I'm not looking up my stuff. I'll be back in 10 seconds. Going right back to the callers. We got some new ones. We are back. 559's calls and John, I need some of that. Yeah. Imagine us together at the Indiana game. That was quite wild. 832 looks like a first-time caller. What's going on? Welcome to the show.
Hey, John. Sean from Texas. Never called in before.
Well, thanks. Appreciate it, man. Happy New Year. Thanks for giving me a call. What's on your mind?
Man, 28 years old, and this is probably the biggest game of my life as a Notre Dame fan. And being from Texas, I got a lot of UT cousins and stuff. So it's like this win over Georgia would be pretty huge for me personally and program itself.
Yeah, this is a big one, man. This is like Tim Hyde was saying, this is an opportunity for Notre Dame to truly change the narrative. There's no amount of victory over Indiana that could get you what this win would mean. This is a big one. And I believe Notre Dame is different, and it's the program's changing under Marcus Freeman's vision. I believe that it's different. Tonight's going to be a measuring stick of just how different it is.
Yeah, man. Me and my dad were at the I think it was the Cotton Bowl for the Clemson game, and going into that, I'm going to be honest, guys. It's like going into that, it didn't have a lot of confidence, and then it's been different under Marcus, and I love his energy that he brings to the team.
Yeah.
And I mean, even going into the USC game, it's USC, and it's like I can't stand playing USC, and one of my earliest, not my earliest, but a big memory for me is the Bush Push game. So it's like every time we play USC, that's
man, you're making me feel old.
Game. That's a nerve-wracking game for me, and it's like, hey, watching that game, I felt like this could be you lose that game, you're not in the college football playoffs, and playing Indiana, you get a little bit of that nerve of like, this could also be the last game. But yeah. I woke up this morning and I don't have that feeling at all of this is our last game this season.
Yeah, it's going to be, man, this is just, it's the opportunity you waited for. And you know what else I think about with Freeman and this team? Listen, if you just stack up the recruiting rankings and the talent and the stars on each of these teams, the recruiting stars, no one can deny Georgia is a top 3 recruiting operation year in and year out. We all understand that. I want to see how much Freeman could get these guys to play. Like we always talk about getting more out of the group than it looks like you should get on paper, right? Like in Notre Dame history, there's been a lot of those teams that end up playing a lot better than it looks like they should on paper. And that's how you get to another level. Let's see if they could do that tonight, man.
Yeah, and I mean, with the recruiting, I mean, I think there is something to be said with like the kids that are deciding to go to Notre Dame. I think are different than a lot of these kids that are deciding to go to these SEC teams, and it's like you see it in the transfer portal already that it's like a lot of the big 5-star recruits that are going to these SEC teams are just swapping teams, and I think that with the NIL. Notre Dame has something different than a lot of other programs around the country, and I think that you're going to have more kids buying into the program, especially under Marcus Freeman's leadership. And I think that that's gonna that can. I mean, you win this game, and that can make a lot of noise down the road for keeping a core group of guys, and man, I don't want to see a transfer quarterback again. You know, I want to see Steve or Kenny or CJ do their thing. And I think that we win this game and we can have a very promising future and have some respect in the national media.
Yeah, this is a big moment for that. And we're gonna see what we get, man. This is what we've all waited for. This is what we've all thought about when this playoff format was announced. We all dreamed of Notre Dame having a big home game in the playoff and doing all this. This is just a big moment to be able to change the narrative here. And we're going to see what we're going to get, man. Anything else? Thanks for the first-time call. I always love first-time callers. And by the way, crystal clear phone lines, and I appreciate that as well, buddy. Thank you.
I love to hear it. Yeah, man. Appreciate it. Go Irish, John.
Have a good one. Go Irish. I like getting first timers in here. It's a big priority of mine. Speaking of which, 484. I don't see any call history here either. What's going on?
Did you hear that?
Yeah, I got you.
That was a beat.
I got you.
Hello?
Hello. You're on the air.
Hey, Johnny.
What up?
Johnny, first-time caller. Love the show.
Oh, thank you very much, man. Thanks for giving me a call. I do appreciate it. What's on your mind? Kind of a weird vibe today on New Year's Day. What's going on?
Very weird. Been pacing around the house since 6:30 and the kids woke up.
Yeah.
I don't know how I'm going to make it till 9 o'clock, Johnny.
It's going to be a long day with a lot of weird stuff going on. This is just going to be one of those days.
I got two thoughts I want to get your opinion on. One, is KVA active tonight?
I thought he was going to be. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought the plan was that he was good to go. Somebody tell me if I'm incorrect.
Be very, very huge to get him back in there because we need help, especially in the interior tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be. Listen, if you ask me, what is the next matchup that you don't want to have Riley Mills out for? It would be Georgia. If Georgia can establish a north-south running game and push Notre Dame off the line and have success on early downs doing it, that is their easiest path to victory. And then that young quarterback doesn't have to be a hero and throw it all around against Notre Dame's strength, which is the secondary. That is the big key to me. It's old school, man. Who's going to be able to run the ball? Who's going to be able to stop the run and control this game a little bit? And we're going to see if Notre Dame could hold up, or we're going to see you either don't have the horses or too many of the horses are injured and it's just and you get beat that way. I don't know. We're going to see.
And that leads me into my next point is what do you think Uncle Al's got cooking tonight?
I need Uncle Al to dial up something to confuse that quarterback. Get him in situations where you could bait him, where you can mess with what he's seeing. You can mess with these quarterbacks scan in the field, make him think he sees something and it isn't reality. Like we have two of the highest paid
coordinators. Huge spot for him, man. It's a huge spot for him.
You're right. We have two of the highest paid coordinators in the whole country. These are the moments where all that experience they have, it needs to come out in the game prep here, and we'll see what they could do. But I need Uncle Al to have a little something for that young kid. Get him to throw us the ball a couple times.
100%. And do you think they use think they're going to put Jugasol in there at all tonight for some packages or no?
It's a good question. I don't know exactly is it full health? I don't know exactly what the dynamic is there either.
Yeah, I don't know either. I just seen some clips of him working with the team this week. or last week. I guess he was working a little bit last week.
Yeah, it's man, this is a big moment.
It's a
man.
huge spot tonight, Johnny. I'm gonna let you get to the other callers. Huge, Johnny. I love the show. Love the show.
You.
I love watching it. My buddies and I, we all love watching it. And go Irish tonight, man. Go Irish.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Good to have some first-time callers in here. 707, what's going on?
Hey, John.
Hey, what's up?
Big day. Excited for the game. Little disturbed about what happened down there. I actually moved to New Orleans after Katrina and lived on Bourbon Street. I lived a few blocks up from where this happened. And there are steel barriers that are meant to stop cars from driving down Bourbon Street on every block. And for some reason, they removed the steel barriers last night and replaced them with regular plastic ones like you'd find. I don't know. I mean, I see them in LA everywhere. But, they're like the plastic ones weigh like a pound and you can pick them up and walk around with them. And that's what they were using instead of the steel barriers last night. So that's unfortunate. I think I'm a little worried. I was confident this incident could have an effect, and we don't know. We don't know how the players and the coaches and everybody else are going to handle it. But I do think how the teams handle what happened last night is going to have a big effect on the game. It's going to be an emotional kind of punch to a lot of people, and I hope we do a good job handling it and have a great game. I think we're more than competitive with Georgia, and I hope it's a great game. And I'm sad for the victims and their families.
Yeah, it's really, really interesting to think behind the scenes how the teams and the universities are handling this, and all the people that are in town from each contingent, and like how you process that and address it with the team. And like, you want to have respect for the moment, but you have to be dialed in on a game. This is just a very, very awkward confluence of circumstance. And it's just going to be a very, very weird, awkward day. I don't know any other way around it.
It's crazy. And I mean, the first thing that's happening is I'm sure somebody involved with the police went to Coach Freeman to say, blah, 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 blah. This is what happened. We're going to have extra security when you leave here, this and that. So it's just another thing on his plate, as if the man doesn't have enough on his plate right now. And for everybody else too. So I hope we handle it well and go out there and have a great game. But boy, sure does put the day into perspective, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does. People are saying it's something weird with the audio or whatever. I am not having internet problems, you guys. I have a thing here that tells me if my internet's going on the fritz, and I am not seeing that. I have not gotten the warning that my Wi-Fi is low. I am totally good. Try refreshing because I'm not showing any internet trouble from my end at all. Like, I am totally fine. So I don't know what's going on, but it isn't my internet.
Your audio is good for me.
Yeah, so I don't know what's going on.
That's about it on my end, John. Go Irish, prayers to the victims, and have a great day. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Yeah, you guys, this is not my Wi-Fi. I'm telling you, I get an alert. When my Wi-Fi is going down, and I have not had that alert. Everything's fine from my end. I'm not having an audio issue or a video issue or anything. So I don't know what's going on. Dude, this is just a weird day. Just a weird day and a weird start to the day. It just keeps getting weirder and weirder and weirder. That is bizarre. But I'm telling you, my audio, my internet's fine. There's nothing going on from my end. I don't know what's going on. It's always something, though, isn't it? My main man, Martinez. Thanks for the donation, brother. What's going on?
Hey, you there, Donnie?
Yeah, what's up?
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Right, Donnie.
Right? He donates $200, asks if I can hear him, and then I bring him up, and then his audio cuts out. This is just going to be one of those days, people. It already is. It's just, this is already the weird. This is already becoming a weird day, and you know what could make it even weirder? Notre Dame win this football game. If we're having a weird day where everything's bizarre and doesn't make sense, how about Notre Dame wins a big game? How about that if you want weird stuff that doesn't look like it adds up right? Jeez. Man, it's always something, dude. It's always something. Nathan, what's going on, fellow Sports Illustrated writer? What's up?
What's going on, John?
Nothing.
Yeah, man, I'm just echoing a lot of your thoughts about what's going on in New Orleans. It's tragic and devastating news, obviously, and it kind of puts a damper on what was supposed to be hopefully not a historic day in Notre Dame football, obviously, because there's been a lot of history involved, but certainly in recent memory, hopefully something that could be really special for Notre Dame football. But just a lot of loss for words overall with all that kind of stuff going on, and feel bad for everybody out there. And
yeah, it's
just
awkward,
you've known
man.
me long enough that one of my no, absolutely. And you've known me long enough that one of my favorite phrases is kindness is free, and that's about all I have to say about everything going on there. There's just a lack of kindness in the world for whatever reason, and I hope we can somehow find it as a world here in the next few years. But honestly, it seems pretty doubtful.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate, but the whole concept that you can't even get 2 or 3 hours into the new year without something, some idiot doing something like this, it's just really unfortunate. And but you know what? I started out the show saying maybe that provides all of us a little bit of perspective, and I know that's something I need with as wrapped up as I get with all this football stuff. I think it's healthy for me to look at it that way, that there are bigger things in play in the world than our team winning a football game. So I'm trying to keep that in mind.
Yeah, and then and I don't want to sound insensitive when it comes to this, but I think one of the only things that kind of keeps your mind off it is kind of talking about Notre Dame and the stuff that we love about Notre Dame, and just and obviously sports bringing people together. So that's why I wanted to call in and chat, because it helps me kind of take my mind off things. For sure.
Yeah, that makes sense. So there's no comfortable transition into the football game. But what do you think are the keys tonight, Nathan? I know we've all been writing and talking about this forever. What do you think are the main keys here?
Yeah, so it's interesting because obviously Notre Dame's defense is great, even with the losses that they've endured. I've said multiple times that it's one of those things where at some point those losses are going to add up, and I hope it's not tonight.
Yeah.
Or when they play this game. And I could see it happening tonight, unfortunately. I think you saw my prediction. I have Georgia winning by 2, which is more so me not feeling it's more so me like in the sense of like I need to see it out of Notre Dame before I pick them to win this kind of game. It's not about a lack of confidence in this specific team overall, because I think they are a good team, and if they win tonight or like again whenever this game is played, I would not be surprised. And it took me a while to get to the point where I picked Georgia because I wanted to pick Notre Dame really badly.
Yeah.
But I think the biggest keys, honestly, are I think your first caller talked about Riley Leonard and the Notre Dame offense, and this is an interesting matchup versus Georgia because they're not the dominant Georgia that they have been in years past, but they still have a lot of the the talent in the first round talent or NFL talent. That kind of makes you like, okay, if they put it all together in one game, it could get ugly. But at the same time, I mean, if you just look at their raw stats, like they're not great against the run. Notre Dame's really obviously one of the best running teams in the country. They give up explosive passing plays. I think I was reading a stat a couple of days ago. I think they've given up like upwards to like 20 to 25 explosive passing plays on the year, which is like 15 or 20 yards more. Which obviously that's not Notre Dame's strength, but if you're going to allow it to happen, then obviously, Notre Dame does have some guys like Jordan Faison and, Bo Collins that can make some plays in the open field if you give them an opportunity to do it. But I think that's really what it's going to come down to, is the Notre Dame offense being able to move the ball comfortably against Georgia on a series by series basis, because even with Riley Mills out and some of the other guys out on defense, I do think Al Golden is a significant advantage for Notre Dame against Bobo. And if the Notre Dame offense can put up, 20 to 24 points, I think they have a really good chance in this game.
Yeah, my thought is, I think this Notre Dame team is different under Marcus Freeman. The vibe is different under Marcus Freeman. It's just, this is going to be a good measuring stick of either how far you've come or how far you have to go to get to the next level. That is what I'm most excited about learning in this moment. Is you're either going to figure out you're further along than you thought, or you still, you have depth issues and some deficiencies you need to make up. This is really, really interesting. It's going to be quite the stressful day, Nathan.
Yeah. And I hate to say it too, because obviously Notre Dame needs to come out with a victory in one of these games here soon. People are just going to kind of continue the narrative. But, this just feels like a game that's going to be close. And honestly, like, I hate to be that person, but let's just say they do lose a close game. I do think that there's a narrative there that can change a little bit, because even in these big games at the end of the year, over the last several, the Brian Kelly years, et cetera, you had obviously the Alabama championship in 2012. You've had, the Clemson and Alabama games in 2018 and 2020. Those ended up being blowouts. And I think if Notre Dame can just kind of prove, like what Kirby Smart said, he said that Notre Dame is built like an SEC team. And I know that he was probably taking some shots at Brian Kelly with some of his comments. At least that's kind of what some people are suspecting. But some Notre Dame fans, you see it on Twitter and, different things like that. They kind of took offense to some of Kirby Smart's comments. I didn't really see it that way. I think he does have a lot of respect for Marcus Freeman, specifically what he's building. If this could be a game where it just looks like Notre Dame can go toe to toe with the best of the SEC, I think that is a relative turning point that we can at least turn to. But then you have the whole thing. If not now, when backup quarterback for Georgia, it's definitely not a dominant Georgia team. I think I saw something yesterday where they trailed in 9 out of their games this year.
I saw that too. Yeah,
that's a lot. Yeah, that's a lot of games to trail in when you're a team that's used to just pounding everybody.
What about Nathan? What about the narrative of, and I've heard this from all of the Georgia side, is you guys should not be looking at our stats all year and then apply it to this moment, because it's going to be totally different, because it's a playoff moment and Kirby's going to have them all dialed up and it's going to be a totally different world. And they're saying, we're fools for looking at what they did in the season or how many yards they give up rushing against UMass and 8 overtimes against Tech, that it's foolish to look at any of that and think that it applies to what we're going to see. What do you think about that?
I think there's 2 schools of thought there. I mean, I'm a believer that you are what you've shown. I mean, they've played so many games this year that I just don't think that you can. You don't just like flip the switch all of a sudden, and you're a new team. Now, obviously, different quarterbacks, and maybe there's just like a different spark for the team in that sense. But then the other obviously school of thought there is that this is the longest that they've had to prepare for someone besides game 1 of the season, and obviously, you never want to give a guy like Kirby Smart and a team like Georgia that much time. Yeah. Now, then again, I think Notre Dame's probably been preparing for Georgia a little bit longer than maybe they want to admit as well. I forget who said it, but I think it was in the 2012 championship game where like a lot of the Bama guys essentially said that they didn't even like really watch film, or it might have been even like the 2020 game. I don't remember which one it was. Yeah. Obviously both ended up being blowouts, but it was one of those ones where it's like they didn't know for sure if they were going to play Notre Dame. It was like between Notre Dame and somebody else, and they were like, "Oh, we're not even going to watch film. It doesn't matter. We know we're better." Yeah. And I don't think that's the case this year.
Yeah, they were right.
Right. And I think that's kind of how Notre Dame was with Indiana. All due respect to them and what they accomplished this season. I think Notre Dame was preparing for Indiana as much as they could. but they were also looking towards at least maybe not the players per se, but like at least the off-field staff from a scouting perspective, different things like that. I think that they were preparing for Georgia a lot longer than like they would admit on camera or anything like that. So that gives me a little bit of confidence. And then honestly, like I go back to the Riley Leonard aspect of this. Georgia hasn't been good against running quarterbacks this year. Haynes King gave him problems. Forget who else they played, but I was just reading some stats about how some other quarterbacks have given them some issues this year on the ground. And we all know what Riley Leonard could do with his legs. So if it comes down to a point where Riley Leonard's able to pick up chunk yards here and there and really kind of break the defense in that sense, because they might load the box to try to stop the run and not really respect the pass. But, sometimes legs can break 8-man boxes just because everybody kind of comes in. There's one breakdown where a guy gets a good block or something like that, and all of a sudden he's running for 50 yards because there's no one there to get him.
Yeah.
And then you kind of have to start respecting start respecting not only the legs more, but the pass, because you're like, okay, we can't keep breaking up 50-yard runs just because this guy can break a tackle or the offensive line's good enough to kind of pick up protection and different things like that.
Yeah, it's going to be a long, stressful day. And we've been writing our heads off about it and all these different angles, trying to think of everything. It's going to be a weird feeling, long day, Nathan. Anything on the way out? Thanks for jumping in, man. I hope the baby's doing well.
Yeah, no, 4 months old. So it's still going, but no, nothing much. I just wanted to stop in, say hey, and go Irish. And again, kindness is free. Hope everybody has a good day and can get their minds right.
Really appreciate it, man. Thanks a lot. He's live from Las Vegas with that take. My main man, Martinez, $50 holler. Johnny, this is where the natty would be won, brother. When I get on, I'll explain. Yeah, I'm going to try and do that. I'm going to get my main man, Martinez needs to get on, and Donnie needs to get on too with these huge super chats. I'm going to do that. A couple of these chats I wanted to address real quick. Michael says, ND fans about to mess up looking at these season stats. I'm telling you, stop doing that. The playoffs will be different. Man, I kind of get that, and I kind of don't. Like, I don't think it makes any sense that you could just be like, that whole season of this year, just forget it all. None of it mattered at all. We're going to be a totally different team. Maybe you are, but I resent the idea that it's totally unfair or brain dead to look at the stats of how the team has played all year that we're playing tonight and look for matchups or areas where Notre Dame could make some hay or have an advantage. I don't think that's crazy at all. So it's like you can't. I'm not accepting that it's totally wrong to look at how they've defended running quarterbacks all year, but then tonight, magically, it's all going to be totally different and not matter. I don't know. I just kind of disagree with that to a certain extent. And the other thing is, I have been saying all along, when I reference their stats against other teams or running quarterbacks or whatever, the struggles against the run game, I've also always tried to be fair and mention that I understand this is the playoff. You're giving Kirby a few weeks to get ready for this, and they will probably look different. But that doesn't mean that none of the stats they have this year apply tonight. That doesn't make any sense. So I think the reality is somewhere in the middle. But I don't think you could be like, you Notre Dame fans are dumb for looking at how we played all year and trying to think of it that way. So I don't know. I guess we're going to find out tonight, huh? Martinez, let's see what we got. Donnie, I got you next. What's up?
Oh, there we go. Are you there?
Yeah, I got you. Thanks for the donation, buddy. Both of them. I appreciate it. Yeah.
Okay, Johnny, what's up?
What's up?
So, what's going on? Hey, the last call, not the last call, but the last show, the Saturday live show, man, I was fucking drunk.
Man, it's hard to hear you, bro. It's really hard to hear you. You're going to have to speak up or move to better reception.
Johnny, can you hear me now?
That's way
No,
better.
Johnny,
That's way better.
Okay, so last time I was jonesing that because I needed the show, right? Are you there?
Yeah.
And then one dude gets on right before me, right after me, and he starts talking about fucking recruiting bullshit. And I see the chat going off. and I see Mark with glasses going on. This is a Andrew Gilmore call. Why the fuck are we talking about recruiting bullshit? Why?
Man, I don't know. People talk about all sorts of stuff, man. The half of the buildup on Twitter has been about a portal quarterback this week. It's just the way it goes, man.
No, Johnny, and I understand, but Johnny, I'm going to tell you something, man. When I told you the last time I called, and I told you when I got out the joint, right, and I'm working from fucking 6 o'clock to 3:30, driving 50 miles back, hurrying up, showering up, working at the bar from 5:30 to 2 a.m. and going to sleep and getting back up at 5:30. Okay, but and that's some shit. Like I told you, that's what Leahy did. That's what Lou did to bring back the Subway alumni, and that's what fucking Marcus Freeman is. So when I see Marcus Freeman say, "I'm gonna go back and watch the film," I remember going back to watch the film. We got done with the high school football game at 9:30, 10 o'clock, and we're leaving that fucking minute. I'm like, damn, Cecil, come on, man. And Cecil didn't give a fuck.
Dude, how are you going for the record of all time F-bombs on the morning show or what?
No, Johnny. I'm not. I love you to death, man. But the thing, what I'm saying is, like, this dude has electrified Notre Dame where we once were with Lou Holtz, like you said, with Leahy, like you said, with the alumni that really cares, like me, you, JD. When JD called, right, and we asked tonight, he goes, "Nah, man." JD goes, "We go to the bookstore, man, and it's $100 for a sweatshirt. It's $50 a park. It's $80-something for a ticket. Fuck that, man. How we gonna lose to NIU? No, man. Before I'm even out of here, man, I'm out of pocket like $500, right?" And so when I went with my friends, homies from upstate New York, also what I'm gonna tell you, when I went from upstate New York, when I met them people, the mom died that weekend. Once they got back, they died. But you know what? The dad was getting into the New York Hall of Fame, and it was one of his bucket list trips to go watch Notre Dame play live at Notre Dame Stadium. When they got back, the mom died, homie. So, okay. So the thing I'm trying to tell you, Johnny, and I'm sorry, man. Marcus Freeman is voted the coach of the year, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Johnny. He's voted the coach of the year. He's got Leahy. Leahy says, "I'm going to go serve my country. I'm going to go fight for World War II. Lou says, "Hey, man, we need to bring back the Subway alumni." The Subway alumni, Johnny. Me, you, like him, Rudy. He said, "Nah, it's not for us. It's for smart kids, rich kids, right?" And that's what they always have to think about. Okay, Johnny, but that's me, you, everybody else, right? So Marcus Freeman, he's getting that interview on ESPN. "Hey, coach, you obviously got the win. How was it?" Like, "It's great, it's great. I'm gonna go back. I haven't had a chance to watch Alabama. Georgia. I'm gonna go back and watch our film.
Yeah.
And then tomorrow I'll watch ours." So that means, hey, Johnny, I've been, like I said, I don't like to be one of them dudes, man. I don't. The other day you had a fucking dude call talking about scouting and this and that and all that bullshit. I don't like to be one of them dudes. But I'm gonna name you a list of people: Isi Sofeli, Stanley Havili, John Martinez, Paul Foka, Cooper Bateman. Look up all them dudes at the school that I coached, Tommy, and where the fuck they went to, okay? That's all I'm saying. So when you're talking about, scouting and all this bullshit, who gives a fuck? Right now, we got to play this.
Dude, bro, you're killing me with the F-bombs. I love you, but you're killing me right now.
Sorry. Okay, Johnny.
That's like 10, man. I love you, but you're killing me. It's killing me.
Okay, Johnny.
Just clean it up a little, please. I love you. You donated $250. I want you to let it rip, but can you just substitute that one out?
Oh, okay, Johnny. I'm sorry. So Tom Frolley does a great job. he goes back, he watches the film, and he says, hey, why don't you put these people in? Why don't you put these people in? See, because Tom's an old coach. He's played, and he knows. And Tom knows what's up. So when these people call, and I say, Isiso Frolley, Danny Havili, Paul Katoa, Alo Mohi, John Martinez, go look these dudes up. Look them up. Look them up. I want anybody in the chat to go look them up and see where they came from in the high school. And they come, the only reason I tell you that is that why in the hell are we talking about this right now? We got a game, the most important game in Notre Dame history is about to be played in about a few days. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. I got the influenza, man. I've been sick for literally for the last 2 days. I've literally been sick.
Man,
the most important game is if Marcus wins, he's got 13 wins. Who does that beat? Bitch ass Kelly.
Yeah, this is gonna be it's gonna be a big moment, man. This is gonna be a big moment for sure. And I know how wound up we all are about it. Dude, I really appreciate you being here all the time, calling me even when you're working. I appreciate how you donate. Anything else, my friend?
No, Johnny. I'm sorry, man, and I'm sorry to go this and that, but that's what I'm saying. Like, let's focus on the off season and the recruits during the recruit season. Right now, this is the biggest game in Notre Dame history.
Yeah,
it really is.
Yeah,
it's a dog fight. It's going to be a dog fight between both coaches, between both teams. And you know what? Our team, this ain't the 2018 to 2019 going to Athens North, as they called it, how they took over Notre Dame Stadium, or when we went down. This team is not playing to lose. This team is going to win.
Yeah, it's man.
Like Marcus Human said it best after he lost to Ohio State. He said, "There is no more victories. We're here to win. We're playing football. We're here to win."
Yeah. This is you could really take your credibility to the next level here. This is a big one, man. I hope you have I hope you have a relaxing day, man.
I love you, Johnny, man. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay, man. I know it happens. I know it's coming from a good place, man. I love you. Thank you for the donations and for always being here. Easier every single day, I guess. People are saying if you donate $250 the way this guy did, how many F-bombs does that earn you that you could divide out? Like, I don't know what. Listen, this is already a weird day. It started out weird. It's going weird. The internet's being weird. The YouTube, multiple people. I love you, Martinez. I'm sorry. We just have to divide out how much, if you donate $250, how many F-bombs you get to drop. I hope you feel better. This is all weird. Just throw it. Maybe it's a good thing that everything's weird because I don't know, when things feel normal, our normal is losing big games. So maybe I should be glad that everything feels off kilter today. Anybody else think of that? Maybe it's going to be a good thing because when things go as normal, we lose every big game. We're in uncharted territory, folks. And I mean that in literally every single way possible. Every single way possible. Today is just going to be one of those days. Donnie, what's going on, buddy? Welcome to the show.
Hey, John. Yeah, sorry I'm late, man. Just got out of Mass and just got home here. But, yeah, can we please clean up the language, everybody? I mean, I'm trying to get our priest to be the chaplain for this show. And he says, man, I don't know what this language you guys, I mean, the GDs, I still think that's the second commandment. Last time I checked in Catholicism.
Donnie, I try. I try. But when you have a live call-in show, whatever comes out, comes out. And I ask and I try and clean it up and I try and not do it. There's always a risk when you do a live show. You just don't know what you're going to get. And there really is no way to stop that once it's out.
Well, John, here's what I'm saying. The callers have to take responsibility. You've got the Patreon. I'm on the Patreon. They can throw out as many F-bombs as they want on the Patreon. But if you're trying to grow your brand, man, I mean, people want their kids and grandkids to listen to you, John. And I don't know. It's just, I don't know. It doesn't sit well with me. But
well,
anyway,
it's not for, hey, I want to defend myself that it's not for me not trying. Like, I have asked for that and I don't do it. And I've asked, like, I'm trying, man. I see it the way you do and I'm trying.
Yeah, that's why I said us callers have to take responsibility for that. And I hate to pardon my French, and then they say it anyway. That's just ridiculous. But that's just my opinion in that. And $9 will get you a cup of coffee at Starbucks. But hey, John, I wanted to talk. Everybody's talking about the portal and the quarterback. Well, not everybody, but a lot of people. And the rumor about Notre. What did you watch that Alabama game? And what did you think of his performance?
Yeah, I did. It just looked weird. I don't know. Alabama just looked completely out of sorts, and he looked bad in the rain and everything. It was weird. And then this morning, the rumor was about Quinn Ewers, so I don't know what to make of it. And I almost don't even want to think about it with what we have ahead of us. Like, we have all off season. We have all off season worry about recruiting and the next quarterback and everything. Can we get through this one first?
Yeah, I agree with you there, John. But I just think I saw Milrose, and he just didn't. I don't know. Didn't impress me a whole lot. But no, I really don't have a lot here, John. I know I kind of got beat up last time I was on for 9 minutes, so I don't want to take up a whole lot of time. But anyway, I'm just going to give you my prediction. I think it's going to be 34-17 Irish.
Ooh,
and
man.
Yeah, I don't think they're the same Georgia team, and I tell you, I just think it's not a lot of people are talking about this, John, but that I've heard, but it's been 100 years since, Canute won our first national championship. And I think it's all lining up for the Irish. And I think they got a good shot at winning another one this year. And that'd be cool for the history books.
Yeah. It's
100 years.
Yeah. This is just a big opportunity to change the narrative. And, I'm really looking forward to it. And that's my consistent theme is I think this Notre Dame team is different, and you're going to be able to get an accurate measurement of just how different they are tonight.
Yeah. And hey, John, I don't know if you talked about it earlier. Like I said, I just got on, but yeah, I know you probably already got it handled, but can we get some candles lit at the grotto for the people in New Orleans?
Yep. Already working on that. So yeah, that's something that's already in the works. And it's the best we could do. It's just kind of a helpless feeling and a helpless situation to wake up to. And it's just a weird vibe to start what should be a pretty exciting day for everybody in college football. It's going to have a weird, dark undertone. And that's just the sad reality.
Yeah, that was a copycat that happened in Germany a few weeks ago, So anyway, hey, praying for everybody. Hope everybody has a happy new year. Merry Christmas, last day of Christmas here, John, the octave today. So I'm going to let you slide and go Irish.
Appreciate it, Donnie. Thanks for always being here and always with the $50 holler. I appreciate it. Are we grown adults or the wine and cheese crowd, John? It isn't. Please understand, I have more to think about than just, it isn't that simple. I have this stuff wrapped into a writing deal with a real outlet, and these videos get linked to articles, but you can't do that if it's full of F words and then you put it out on SI. I hope you guys understand there are more things that I have to think about than just, it isn't just me saying what language I want or whatever. There are more professional things here that I need to think about and consider. And I hope everybody understands that. And so I'm trying to keep it family friendly. I want kids to be able to listen, whatever, but I'm sorry, man. Sometimes people call and they go off. You can't make everybody happy. Some people think it's too much. Some people think it's not enough. And they like the old days when I started doing this and I was yelling all this stuff, but you mature and you grow. And the reality is, if you want to be, if you really want to grow things and you want to do this at any sort of like a higher level, you got to kind of clean it up. Commander, how would you know? How would you know? Don't let them change you, John. You make a hell of a lot more for these super chats than they pay you. How do you know what my Sports Illustrated writing contract says? What a weird day, you guys. What a weird, totally weird day. All right, that's going to be it. We're wrapping the show up. I got 50 more callers I can't get to. I have family stuff I need to do today. I have other things I need to set up for what we need to do later tonight. So here's what we're going to do. You don't cuss ever. If I very rarely ever curse on this show. I'm not saying ever, but on this show, if you notice, you don't hear me saying that. You don't hear me saying that. Anyways, I know writing intimately. Okay, Commander, whatever, man. You could be my agent. I'm getting a little agitated right now with this morning. So we're going to end the show and we're going to go look at the news and see what's going on. And we're going to watch these other games and we're going to go from there. Listen, I really appreciate all the donations. I appreciate everybody being here. I know everybody has things to do and obligations today with family or whatever. I'm sorry I couldn't get to all the calls. There's literally 30 more calls. There's just no way I'm going to be able to get to them. But I really appreciate everybody being here. I appreciate this community and everybody that likes being a part of it. And here's what we're going to do. When I get done with this, I will queue up the post-game show for later tonight. So people that want to chat during it can chat during it. And then we'll go live after the game and we'll see how that goes and we'll see what kind of mood we're in. I'm telling you this. If people are using the F word in the morning, first thing when they wake up, I can't wait to see what it's going to be like after everybody has 78 beers and then we play this game. Again, I'm sorry. Some people want more raw language. Some people want none. You can't make everybody happy. I do the best I can to try and keep it somewhat family friendly. But I love you guys. I love this community. And it's just going to be a long, weird day. So do whatever you need to keep sane the rest of the day. And look for the 27-24, Notre Dame finds a way. Close game, close battle. Notre Dame finds a way somehow. I don't know. I hope so. I'll open up the chat on the post-game show, and then I will be here right after it, and we'll talk, and hopefully we're in a good mood. God bless you guys. Thank you guys for being here, and we'll get some candles lit for New Orleans, and we'll go from there. Enjoy the football, and get ready to stress out all day, you guys. Love you. Take care.